Hey folks, Ray at DCRainmaker.com here. Today I'm going to give you a first look at the studio. And some of you may have seen it on other channels. I'm going to kind of walk through the studio as it sits here in January 2019 and just sort of explain some stuff. So this here, let me switch the camera around. Whoop. There we go. This here is the office area. So my desk is the one back there. The girl's desk is right here. And it's as simple as that. So in my case, I edit most of my stuff on the Mac, the 5K Mac that you see there off the side, right there. And then my other smaller Mac is what I use for traveling. So if I'm at CES, events, stuff like that, I'm editing on that for videos. And then right there is my laptop that I do everything else on. So I use that drive there. I'm just loading up some stuff for my trip tomorrow to make sure I got what I need footage-wise. But that's kind of my workflow there. I've got a NAS server I'll talk about in the back. So the storage unit you see there is more just like handy storage on the side. This would be the girl's desk, and then we got sort of like a lounge-ish area. You notice I got like studio lights everywhere here. This is a big skylight of sorts, but it's still not very bright. Like right now, I think it's about 4 o'clock and it's starting to get kind of dark. So if I'm doing any filming this time of day, we'll reposition these wherever it seems fit. Also, a maze ball deal from some friends on the big screen TV there. I don't even know how big it is, but they were gonna throw it away. So yeah, I took that, thank you very much. Bar area, sort of like a spare room. We're gonna figure something out down the road. Kitchen, you've all seen kitchens. Coat rack with some cool bottles. Down here, we've got a full shower and all this stuff inside there. So, you know, all that stuff like after a ride and whatnot, if you want to get a shower. Here is my pile of things I'm taking to Cape Town. I might dwindle that down a little bit, but that's probably gonna be, it's probably gonna get bigger, to be honest. In here is the storage room. So this is where I store not all, but a fair chunk of the things, and it's somewhat well organized at this point. So everything on this side of the room is pretty much like organized well, I would say. So like over here is office supply stuff, you know, like power adapters and light bulbs and telephony junk. Here is some USB-C cables and some micro mini USB cables, but I've got an entire like huge box. It's like 4 times the size of all that, full of them to still sort out. Down here we got things like ANT+ Bluetooth smart sensors, power meters, chargers, bike running lights, Garmin rubber mounts only. So just Garmin quarter-turn rubber mounts, trainer parts, power cords. Over here, it's pretty self-explanatory what it says in the box, to be honest. A lot of bike mounts down there again, more random Garmin stuff. Up here is just, you know, more units divided by name, brand, and charger. One of the big challenges I had in the Paris space with not having much organizational space is that I couldn't really find things when I wanted to, so it was always really tough to find the right cables for the right thing. So I've got them a little better labeled now. And again, this isn't all of it. It's like Garmin wearables here, but then up there, this handy thing has more Garmin wearables, and there's more in a box I still have yet to unpack, but it's a starting point. Over here, my charging station, I've already stolen a bunch of this off for the suitcase, so I like had a eTap charger here, for example, but essentially GoPro batteries go there to charge into there, same with the DSLR batteries. And then down here is lots and lots of GoPro stuff, just GoPro mounts after mounts after mounts and cases and all these heart rate straps. This used to be a single bin, but now it's kind of divided up. So like this is all ANT+ heart rate straps. So I can go in here, I can find what I need to find more easily now, at least. You know, it's not like perfect, but if it's ANT+ only, it goes there. If it's Bluetooth Smart, it goes here. If it's dual, it goes there. If it's just something kind of wonky, it goes there. More mounts, so many mounts. This is, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory as well. We got weight scales. This is all like DSLR stuff up here, like all like a video, audio editing, all that kind of stuff I would use for that stuff. Camera gear is basically here. Up top, we got sliders and gimbals, and over here, some of the drones, really almost none of the drones, actually just the smallest ones. All the rest of the other stuff is downstairs. I'll say probably downstairs for a different day. Over here, this is mostly things I haven't figured out yet. So, you know, like here's label printer there, for example. That's not going back to companies. I'm not sure why it's there. But this is stuff that's eventually going back to companies or in progress to go back to companies, or it may just simply got lost on a shelf. I'm not really sure, to be honest. So these are reviews soon, but this shelf is also probably like a little behind the times. And these are just things I'm either working on or trying to deal with, or whatever the case is, they're there. Down here, I've got Synology NAS system. So this is my old one. This is my new one. This one has 6 drives in it. Each of them are 10 gigs or 10 terabytes. So 60 terabytes of potentially usable space, but it's in RAID 5, so less than that. But it's a good starting point, and then I was offloading some stuff there as well. But it's a fair bit of storage, a good start. Sonos, they'll eventually configure here. Laundry machine, and then this is clothes sorted by purpose in life. So cycling, the girls cycling, running, cold stuff, I think, is that what it is? And then like general clothes, and then towels, swim, like rags and stuff like that. And this is just more crap to deal with. So like DCR branded t-shirts and stuff. I think there's even a link below the YouTube video if you're on the site or something. And then here's just media credentials, like here's a Tour de France media photo thingamajiggy, for example, and all sorts of stuff in there. And I just broke my shelf. There we go. Fixed, kind of. And a blender, obviously. So let's head out to the main room here. So we have some soundproofing panels I can move around, or sound absorbing panels. The girl's bike. And then this side is mostly like trainers that are in the process of being dealt with. So right now there's a Tax Neo that I'm wrapping things up on. There's a Tax Flux 2 that I'm just about to shoot a video on. So this is what it looks like when I'm a typical day. Right now, earlier, if you had seen this morning, there was this Hammer 2 trainer was over there. And I had nothing right here in this first bike slot, and I was riding that over there. But now I'm getting ready to shoot the unboxing and all that stuff for the Flux 2. So I've kind of set this up. I've got basically 2 cameras I'm going to use. I'm going to use this DSLR as the main camera here. And then I've got a second camera, so you can see that right there. And then I've got the second camera all the way over here on the C-stand up here. And this is what I'll use as sort of a close-up cam of the unboxing portion. So I move the C-stand around quite a bit, depending on what I want. Eventually I want to get all this stuff up on the ceiling like the lights are. So I did get the lights up on the ceiling. They're all bolted there, which is pretty cool. And then everything here is controlled by Google, so I can turn on and off all the lights individually or in one shot. But I love the fact that I can move these around, so I can just simply spin this right here to wherever it needs to go. So I've basically got kind of like 3 sets, if you will. So I've got this main desk here for a lot of unboxing stuff. And then I've got sort of this trainer area over here where I usually use just the main mat in the back and then the front mat for kind of a secondary trainer. And then over here, I've got the tool bench area that you've been seeing other stuff. And so this is where I'm doing a fair bit of stuff lately. So I'm shooting a kicker video in about 2 hours, I think it is. And then I've got this the main desk here. And so inside this, again, it's lots of stuff. So these are just trainer skewers, just pedals, just like this stuff here. And even some of these aren't in the right place. Like these power tap pedals need to go back where they go, and these SRM pedals are going back to SRM. And then over here, CO2 and pokey things, tires, and keep on going down. Here's lots of stuff, just bottom brackets, and you never know, you might need that. Screws, got a screw loose, and sticky stuff. And then below there is even more stuff. So I've been using this Park toolbox. I got this back, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. It's awesome, just simply like is a great way to have all the tools. Way overkill for most people, but I know I've always got it, which is kind of nice. And then I just sort of built everything else here to make it all fit. Got a slider down there, so that's completely multiple access sliders, so it's automated, controlled by an iPad, and I can go this direction, rotate the whole camera, and lots of fun stuff. So you see that occasionally when I have a little more free time than I do right this second. Let's see, a couple of the kicker headwind fans. I'm working on something else that I'll show you eventually. And then 2 TVs, they're both connected to Apple TV behind it. So I've got most of these lifter that are running that, and then a Wahoo desk there as well. And I just do whatever. So the TVs I can use, like I can AirPlay something to them if I want to from my iPhone, or I can watch TV on them, I suppose, but they can also record to a Mac as well. So if I want to record something I'm doing on there, I can do that. And that's kind of it. Oh, and then the sign. So it's actually really funny. People think the sign's expensive. this is probably the cheapest thing here. And the reason is because all this is, in case you're curious, like from a technical standpoint, this is just a piece of composite board over the top, and they just CNC'd it like for 80 bucks, the whole thing done. And then behind it's just painted red. So this is, and it's just wood, it's just simply like, you know, simple wood there. So it's actually kind of neat. Oh, and then green screen. So I can pull up this green screen by just simply grabbing this right here, and then the whole thing goes up. And then I can green screen when I need to. I'm not usually a huge green screen person, but every once in a while I do it to where it makes sense. So there you go. I think that's about it. Oh, an extra TV. I moved this downstairs like the treadmill. It's on a simple tripod stand, so I can use it downstairs and other places and stuff. And I can have a door there that I can fall out to down below if I want to. So I think that's it. We'll swing this back around again. Okay, so there you go, a complete look at the studio. I think, you know, right now it's this January, and this is sort of where it is in terms of like things that are done. There's lots of things that are not done, that's for certain. We're just sort of going through it as it makes sense. I think I'll probably get to my groove by like June or July or so. We had one big open house here back about a month or so ago. Almost 200 people here, so that was pretty crazy. We might do something like that again in the July time frame. We're kind of thinking that through a little bit, but by then I'll have figured out all the things that I gotta figure out, like silly things like getting more things mounted to the ceiling so I'm not tripping over them, and it's all about speed and efficiency. So the more things that are ready to go, the faster I can move through things and the faster I can get out content, rather than just like tearing down stuff and putting stuff back up again and all that kind of thing that really killed me in my previous cave in Paris. But this space is a whole heck of a lot bigger, and not even show you the downstairs, but that's another thing for another day. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you found this kind of fun or interesting or whatever, just whack the like button at the bottom there, or if you're new, hit the subscribe button for all the fun stuff that comes out of this place. Have a good one.